told me there'd been a reported gas leak in the flats. Said we might all have to be evacuated.
Did they have gas board identity cards, Mr. Galbraith?
Of course. With photographs. I'm not daft enough to let anybody in.
What exactly is missing, sir?
My pension money. I only drew it this morning.
They must have seen you at the post office and followed you back home.
Stinking thieves. Preying on old folk.
Any other valuables missing, Mr. Galbraith?
Me late wife's rings, engagement and wedding. And the one I bought her on our diamond anniversary.
Mr. Galbraith, the ambulance men are here to take you to hospital.
All right, Gavin.
You go along as well, Mike. Get a detailed description of the team from Mr. Galbraith. Also, get a description of the rings that were nicked.
Yep, will do.
When you catch them scum, you ought to do to them what the Arabs do. Cut their ruddy hands off. Do it for you myself, if I could.
Hello? Hello there?
Hello, Bella. What's the problem?
That man up the street there.
What about him?
He knocked on my door, said he was a gas board inspector, showed me his identity card. The photo wasn't nothing like him.
You didn't let him in?
No, bloody fear. I'm a widow. I'm all on my own. I asked him, if you're from the gas board, where's your van?
What did he say?
They wouldn't tell me, so I slammed the door.
Good for you. There's a gang of thieves operating in this area, claiming they're working for the gas board. What's your name, Mum?
Rose Trussler.
Right, Mrs. Truss, now you leave this to me. Now, don't open the door to anyone unless you know exactly who they are.
Don't you worry, I won't.
Yeah, well, that happened at the builder's yard when I was loading up.
Come on, Mr.
Exposed wires. That's dried mud around the fixture.
Sierra 1, Sierra Oscar, over.
Sierra 1 receiving. Go ahead, Sarge.
Domestic disturbance at number 1 Island Road. Estranged husband Lee Corbett threatening to break down the front door. Can you deal?
On our way, Sarge. ETA 4 minutes. Right, Mr. Hookway, get that light repaired. Get the rear of that vehicle defect notice completed by the garage and send the form off. And if it's not done in the time stipulated, you will be liable to prosecution, all right?
Sierra Oscar 595 receiving.
Sierra Oscar, go ahead, Tony.
George, I've got a possible suspect posing as a gas board inspector. He knocked at the door of a widow, Mrs. Rose Trussler. She got suspicious when the mugshot didn't match. Could be one of the gang CID are after.
Where exactly are you now, Tony?
Corner of Wollaston Street and Tara Road. I'm watching the house entered by suspect.
Tony, stay on site. CID will be with you shortly.
What number was it?
1.
That's number 1. Now, that must be Mr. Corbett.
He looks peaceful enough.
Yeah. Go ahead, punk. Make my day.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1.
Go ahead, Barry.
There's no disturbance here, Kath. The front door is still Virgo intacta.
Mr. Corbett.
Look, I didn't mean it about smashing the door down. I just needed to make sure your sergeant sent somebody round.
All right, Mr. Corbett, calm down. Tell us what's going on here.
Me and my wife, we're separated. Well, she left me.
All right, Mr. Corbett, spare us the details. We are busy. What exactly is the problem?
It's Matthew, my little boy. It's his birthday today. I've got legal access, but Jackie never brought him to the park.
Yeah, it was the agreed meeting place, yeah?
Yeah. So, I came round here, but she still refused to let me see Matthew.
So whose house is this, then?
The bloke Jackie is,
Living with?
yeah. His name's Colin Jones.
Is Mr. Jones in?
No, please. Would you have a word with Jackie? She's got to listen to you. I just want to see my son on his birthday.
House beyond the window cleaner, Sarge. Suspect's still inside.
Did he spot you?
No. And he let himself in.
Well, let's go and pay Chummy a visit, shall we?
Yeah.
Matthew's not well. That's why I didn't bring him to the park.
What's wrong with him?
He's suffering from a bad cold. It were raining when it came time to take him to meet Lee, and I don't have a car. I didn't want him getting wet.
That makes sense, Mr. Corbett.
Why didn't you tell me that, Jackie, instead of refusing to let me see Matthew?
Colin don't want you coming here. Nor do I.
Where is Mr. Jones?
He's at work. At Webb's, the butcher's in the High Street.
And what time are you expecting him back?
Not till after 6.
So why not let your husband visit Matthew now, while he's here?
No. Lee's not coming in. Not after being violent to me.
You provoke me, Jackie.
That's why your husband called us. To keep the peace.
Jackie, all I want to do is see Matthew for a minute. I'll wish him happy birthday, I'll give him his presents, and then I'll be on my way.
Now, that sounds fair enough, Mrs. Corbett.
No.
Mrs. Corbett!
Why are you being so unreasonable, Mrs. Corbett? Just imagine how your little boy must be feeling, listening to you two squabbling on his birthday.
Matthew! You lying bitch!
No, Mr.
I'll kill you, Jackie! I'll kill you!
Sunhill CID, sir. Detective Sergeant Roach, and this is Detective Constable Lines. You are?
Jeffrey Robillard. What's this about?
May we come in, Mr. Robillard?
Why? I haven't been in trouble with the police for 5 years.
Better if we talk inside, sir.
Better for who, me or you?
Well, you can either talk to us here or down at the station, sir. Take your choice, but make it snappy.
Lesser of the two evils, I suppose.
Thank you, Mr. Robillard.
Thank you.
Have a look around, Tony.
Oh, just a minute. You never said anything about searching my home. Have you got a search warrant?
Have you got something to hide, sir?
No, but I know my rights. You can't just barge in here and go through my home.
Shall we take him in, Ted, while we get a search warrant?
Well, it's the easiest way, Tosh. Choice is yours, sir.
Go on, then. Be my guest, Constable.
Shall we go through to the living room, sir?
If you don't mind, I won't invite you to sit down and make yourselves comfortable.
We don't mind standing, sir. And we won't have any cups of tea either.
Oh, good. So, pleasantries out of the way. Do you mind telling me what you think it is I'm supposed to have done?
We're investigating a series of burglaries, sir.
Carried out by two men claiming to be gas board inspectors, sir.
Oh, look. I do know what this is supposed to be about now.
Please enlighten us.
I found this ID card in Wollaston Street. It's lying by the curb. The old lady called you, am I right? I knocked on her door and asked if Mr. Guthrie was working inside. I assumed he dropped his identity card.
What did Mrs. Trussler say?
She seemed a bit suspicious, so I gave up trying to explain. Besides, it was obvious there was nobody from the gas board working in the house. I was about to telephone the local gas showroom and let them know that I'd got Mr. Guthrie's identity card when you knocked on the door.
Clean as a whistle, Sarge.
See? You satisfied now, Sergeant?
There may be no stolen property here, sir, but I am far from satisfied. I'm arresting you on suspicion of attempted burglary.
Look, I found that identity card in the street exactly as I told you, I swear to you. I'm a born-again Christian.
How's Mr. Galbraith, Doctor?
His heart problem and chronic emphysema have been exacerbated. He's very poorly.
I really do need to see him.
Not for a while.
Jackie shouldn't have lied to me. I lost my rag. Oh, please don't nick me. I've got enough problems.
You're not Nick, Mr. Corbett. With the rage you're in, we couldn't leave you there. Brought you here for your own good.
That's right, Mr. Corbett, so calm down. This is just a waiting room, it's not the custody area.
Now sit down and relax, and I'll get you a cup of tea. When you calm down and you feel better, you're free to leave, all right?
Yeah, okay.
A wallet containing bank and credit cards and £15. Small change totaling £2.84. A box of cheroots. A gold lighter inscribed Derek. As you've admitted to a previous criminal record, you'll doubtless be familiar with police procedure, Mr. Robillard.
I haven't been arrested for over 5 years, so the experience is hardly engraven on my mind.
Then allow me to refresh your memory. Under the terms of your arrest, you have the right to inform someone of your arrest. You have the right to consult with a solicitor.
There's no one I wish to inform of my arrest, nor do I need a solicitor.
Would you have a word with Corbett, Sarge, before we let him go?
Since when did we start running a marriage guidance service, Stringer? I've got plenty of work to be getting on with.
Corbett needs a strong but friendly warning, Sarge, before he gets himself into serious trouble. Who better to give it than you?
If Robillard is part of the team that's doing these burglaries, it's a bit odd that he's done this one on his own, isn't it? Also, Galbraith, he says that the ID card mugshots match the two men who robbed him.
Galbraith wears glasses. He could be wrong.
Sarge, Mike called from the hospital. Galbraith's too ill to interview.
Call him back. Tell him to stay there. I want those descriptions from Galbraith today.
Right.
Oh, and Jim, look up the addresses of the two old couples that have been done by this team, the Jenners and the Quigleys. Then go and bring them in. I'll get Monroe to organize an identity parade.
I'm a shop fitter. I work long hours, nights. And when I'm in another town, Exeter, say, I have to stay down there all week. Jackie complained she never saw me. Said we didn't have no family life. Who the hell did you think I was working for? Me family? I just want to give Matthew and any other kids who have a better start in life than me. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Tell that to Jackie. I came home one weekend and she'd gone. Took up with this butcher, Colin Jones.
You have my sympathy.
Now then,
What's this summons for assault all about, then?
Last time I saw Matthew, he told me Jones had smacked him. When I told her he had no right, she just walked away from me. So I grabbed hold of her just to try and talk some sense into her. She fell to the ground, screaming, "Don't hit me, don't..." I had no intention of hitting her.
There were witnesses?
Yeah. It was in the park. They didn't see me hit her. Just saw Jackie on the ground, screaming, and Matthew crying because he was scared. What else could they think?
They took her side?
Of course. Jackie got a solicitor to slap me with a summons. Can't win, can I?
Yes, you can. You can get the courts to make sure that your rights of access are legally respected. Your wife is not above the law. She can be prosecuted.
No, I don't want to prosecute Jackie. I love her. I don't want her back.
Now, come on, Mr. Corbett. Get a grip.
You knew that Mrs. Trussler was a widow living all alone.
That's not so. For all I knew, you could have lived there.
So following your line of thought that Mr. Guthrie must be working in the street, did you try the houses on either side of Mrs. Trussler?
Or further down the street or across the street?
No, I didn't think.
Oh, come on, Robillard. Who are you working with on these burglaries?
Nobody. I've told you I'm not involved.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Robillard? What's your job?
I was an estate agent before my sojourn in Her Majesty's prison. Since then, I've done whatever I can. My last job was working as a clerk with a building firm. But with the recession, I've been unemployed for the past 7 months.
Sarge, hold on a minute.
Interview suspended.
Robillard's track record, sir.
Oh, thanks, Reg. Robillard, Jeffrey Richard. 11 charges of theft and burglary, served 2 years.
Yeah, but nothing for the past 5 years, just as he said.
If that man's a born-again Christian, I'm Billy Graham.
Yeah, well, blessed are the meek, Sarge, for they shall inherit the earth.
On your bike, Reg. It's bad enough with Doubting Thomas here.
Interview recommenced. Officers present, DS Roach and DC Lyons.
It's a fairly hefty gold lighter. Must be quite expensive.
It's 22 carat gold, worth about £150. I've been out of work for so long, I'm considering selling it.
Your full name is Jeffrey Richard Robillard, is that correct?
If you just see my police record, you know it is.
Not Jeffrey Richard Derrick.
No.
Well, the lighter's inscribed Derrick.
Yes.
So what's it doing in your possession?
I found that lighter last year.
Oh, come off it, Robillard. Don't take me for a mug.
It's true. I found it on Saturday afternoon, the 15th of September last year, to be precise. I'd been to watch the flypast for the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Britain. And I was walking back through St James's Park when I spotted the lighter on the grass.
Robillard, that's a very unusual name.
Originates in the Channel Islands, actually. My ancestors settled there after the Norman Conquest. Why?
Well, first you find a solid gold lighter on the grass. Then today you find a gasboard ID card on the street. I mean, do you believe in the little people or something? They leave things hanging around for you to find them?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Sergeant, than this world dreams of. I've certainly got an open mind.
Yes, well, you do realise, sir, that you're supposed to hand in lost property, yes?
I did. After a few weeks, I was notified it hadn't been reclaimed. I could come in and collect it. You might also care to check on a purse I found in the street. I handed that in here also, back in February. That was reclaimed.
My best advice to you, Mr. Corbett, is to stay calm. No more threats of violence and murder. You use your head, not your hands. It makes better sense.
Yeah, sorry about that back there. Feel a right prep.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. Off you go, and good luck.
Thanks.
One gold lighter handed in by G.R. Robillard on the 15th of September 1990. Not claimed, so returned to G.R. Robillard on the 29th of October 1990.
Here we are. Here's the purse. Belongs to Miss Beverly Simpson. Robillard handed it in on the 14th of February.
Wouldn't it just have to be St. Valentine's Day?
2 items. Robillard handed them both in. How much more of a reformed thief can you get than that, eh?
Well, you call me cynical, Tosh, but I'm telling you, Robillard is too goody-goody to be true.
Well, if we can't come up with something else, we're going to have to let him go.
No, let him stew for a bit. You check out this gas board official, Guthrie. See if he was working in Wollaston Street today. I'll give the student nurse a bell.
Do you like this one the best, do you? Yeah? Put this back in here.
Look at it.
Tough as old boots. Yeah. Corbett don't realise it yet. But that's a marriage he's well out of.
So,
You all right, Mr. Corbett?
Case of having to be in it.
Poor Burke. You're all heart today, Steve.
Yes, we've got the lighter here, but I can't explain now. I'll give you a ring back and tell you all about it later. OK, mate, cheers, yeah. Thanks a lot.
You're quite certain that you left the purse in the telephone box? You didn't drop it in the street? Okay, Miss Simpson, thank you. You've been a great help. Well, you look pleased.
Yeah. When I had no luck with Vine Street or West End Central, I tried Bow Street and Tottenham Court Road, still no luck. Finally, I tried Rochester Road. Bullseye. An ex-Winco up for the weekend for the fly past reported losing the lighter before he got on the train to go back home.
Well, let's see how our Mr. Holier-than-thou Robillard takes the glad tidings. What'd you find out about Guthrie?
Yeah, well, the chap with the gas board, he checked with Guthrie. He was working in Wollaston Road. He reckons he lost his ID card when he took his jacket off and it fell out the pocket.
And Robillard found it.
Yeah.
Seems like a heaven-sent opportunity.
Hi, mate. What's up with you? You look as if you just heard you won the pools and forgot to send the coupon.
I've just come from the hospital. Mr. Galbraith has died.
Damn. Well, come on, Tosh. Let's try and clear this one up, shall we? Thank you, John.
Cheers.
it's taken you a long time to check and find I'm telling the truth. Am I free to go now?
Interview with Geoffrey Richard Robillard resumes. Same officers are present.
This is ridiculous.
What a low, venal trick, Mr. Robillard. Stealing money from a student nurse.
I don't know what you're talking about.
£80. Miss Simpson's wages. Missing from her purse when you handed it in.
I handed the purse in exactly as I picked it up in the street.
Oh, come off it, Robillard. You found Miss Simpson's purse in the telephone box near the tube station.
No.
And you stole the money from it before handing it in.
No, that's not true.
The gold lighter. Why don't you take it to one of the 2 nicks within 5 minutes' walk of St. James's Park?
I didn't think to. I automatically thought of my nearest police station.
Today, didn't you think to try anywhere else for Mr. Guthrie, except Mrs. Trussler's? Yes. You see the pattern, don't you, Robillard?
I'll tell you why you brought that gold lighter all the way back here to Sunhill, sir. Far away from where the owner lost it. Of course, it's recorded. You get a receipt. Now, if the owner reclaims the lighter, you've done a good deed. If he doesn't, and who's going to, because found property is not computerised nationwide, then you've got a valuable lighter coming your way.
Either way, you've got a good alibi next time you're nicked. Oh, I'm a born-again Christian, you'll protest. I hand things I find into police stations.
So charge me, Sergeant. Go on. No, you can't, can you? You don't have one iota of proof to back up your accusations. Well, now I do want to see a solicitor. I'm not saying anything more until I do.
999 call from Webb's Butchers, High Street, Sunhill. Assault in progress.
MP from Sierra 1, your message received. Sierra 1 out. Webb's Butchers? That's got to be Corbett.
Robillard is as guilty as hell. You know it and I know it.
OK, Ted, win some, lose some.
All right, but you deal with it. If I have to see his smug little face once more today, I'm liable to dent it.
Sarge?
What?
I've got a Mr. and Mrs. Jenner in reception. Mr. and Mrs. Quigley are on the way.
Forget it. Robillard is not in this team. He's as pure as the driven snow.
So what am I supposed to do with Mr. and Mrs. Jenner?
What do you think?
Where is he? Through there, through there. Stay where you are. Through the back.
Stay there, or he gets it.
Put that cleaver down, Mr. Corbett. Now. Don't be daft, Mr. Corbett.
I'm warning you. Coming in here, and I'll take his head off.
You don't really mean that, Mr. Corbett.
No. What do you reckon, Colin?
No, don't. Please, don't.
See? He thinks I will.
OK, Lee. Take it easy. Let's talk, OK? Now, what caused the trouble this time, then?
I only came in here to tell him he had no right to smack Matthew. Do you know what this pompous git said to me? I'm going to marry Jackie and help bring up Matthew, so I have the right to chastise him when he's naughty. Jackie and me aren't even divorced yet.
All right, Mr. Corbett, he's out of order. But this is not the way to settle it. That's right. Be sensible, Lee.
My marriage is finished. He's sleeping with my wife, I'm losing my son, and I'm supposed to be sensible.
Yes. This only makes matters worse for you, not for them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Colin here will be too quick to chastise Matthew again. Hey, Colin!
No, I promise! I'm sorry! All right. You scared Mr. Jones half to death. He said he's sorry. If you still want to have a go at somebody, put the cleaver down and have a pop at me, eh?
I've got no gripe with you.
Maybe not, but I've got a gripe with you. I went into bat for you down there, Nick. I spoke up for you, and this is how you show your appreciation. You do something stupid here, I'm going to look like a real prize prat.
Come on, Lee. Give the cleaver to me, Lee. Or put it down on the floor. Come on. Give it to me, Lee.
Ah, to hell with it. There's no way I'm going down for this tosspot.
We're holding on to the gold lighter, Mr. Robillard. We found its owner. He lives down in Kent.
I'm delighted to hear it. I'm sure I'd be very glad to get it back.
Well, would you like us to take it home, sir?
No, thank you. I'd rather walk. I need some air after being in a police station again.
See what else you might pick up.
You never know.
What happened this time?
He's done it now, Sarge. GBH on the boyfriend.
How stupid can you get, Mr. Corbett? What about your son? Bang goes your access rights.
Maybe. There's a good chance I might have frightened Jones off altogether.
Put him inside.